get my Simba out, I just need to do a mic connector adapter, and I have that out here. They're really nice unit and radio.
Yeah, it's a shame that Simba uses that weird 3-pin plug instead of a more standard 4-pin, you know. But yeah, I mean, I've got a special D104 that's wired for this radio, and this is the only radio I use it on. I have to swap the head for my Silver Eagle, though, because the head for this mic is shot. It just doesn't sound good at all, so I take the head off the Silver Eagle and put it on this one when we use it. But, yeah, it's the only mic I've got for this radio. Yeah, it's a shame because all my other ones are wired 4-pin, and I can put every one of my mics on, like Turner and all. This one here, unless I decide to make an adapter for it, then, you know, this is the only mic that I can run on it.
Do you have any mics that have that pin on the bottom that you just lift them up and they key?
What do you mean? What?
They've got these mics, optional bases you can get for them, and they've got a pin that sticks out at the bottom, and when you lift up the mic, you tilt it back on itself and actually key, and you bring it back down onto the desk and it unkeys.
I had one of those mics, yeah. Yeah, instead of pushing the push bar, you just picked up the microphone.
I sort of vaguely remember something like that, but I've never had one.
I used to have one. I can't tell you what I did with it, though.
I have a Bogan that has that Bogan desk mic.
Bogan, the PA people.
Bogan mics are bogus.
No, they're just meant for public address uses.
Right, well, that's why they had that button on the bottom. I guess it was like the school, you know, they'd pick it up and it'd be like, you know, Bueller.
Yeah, so if you can't be an athlete, you can be an athletic supporter.
Well, I opted for my biggest box radio. 2 19-inch rack mount 4-foot radio holder.
So now is your OMAC running with the 2E26 tube or the 6146?
The 6146.
Okay, you need maximum drive for maximum smoke.
Oh yeah, and I'm just loafing along. Because you figure the, what is that? Oh, that's the stupid fans. The fans want to slow down when I key up. I don't know why that is, because that's off of 12 volts, so that doesn't make much sense. But anyway, yeah, the 5100 uses a pair of 6146s, so I figure a single would, you know, be just fine.
Yeah, that's half the power.
The fans are slowing down. You might be, you know, dimming your 15 amp circuit there.
No, I think it's them brushless things. I don't know. I got little tiny, what are they, 1-inch or 2-inch fans blowing on the plate caps of the tubes, and I key up, they slow down and stop, and I don't know why. But it comes off my 12-volt circuit. Nothing else is dimming.
You got RF getting into your fans.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, because they're right next to the tubes.
Evening, gentlemen.
Gentlemen, where? I work for a living.
Yeah, go ahead, Subway.
Yeah, I work for a living. I'm no gentleman.
How's everybody doing? Hey, it's Classic Radio Roundup. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, nothing better than a big old pair of beautiful tubes.
I love tubies.
Yeah, I wonder what Tickle wants for that spare tube. Then I'd have 2 spares.
Yeah, then you can modify that amp into a 4-tube amp and double the power.
Yeah, he's got a 400Z at like.
I don't know if I got enough power supply for running 4 of them.
Yeah, you probably don't. Yeah, Sparky can get that 4.400 and he can hope it's not Gazi. But you know what happens when you key it up and it's Gazi.
But you know, on the other hand, you could make a nice high-powered modulator and modulate the thing directly with another pair.
Yeah, you could do that. Speaking of the Gazi video, do you know he had over 37,000 views on that?
What, on 05's Gazzy tube?
Yeah. He had 37,000 views, and then the other one he's got that other amplifier that he, I guess when he first put it together or something, he had like 19,000 hits on that one.
I don't think I have 37,000 views on all my videos collectively.
Wow, yeah, I get it. Gazzy video, man. 37,000 views. I was looking through that stuff again the other day, and I'm thinking seriously about putting together some kind of 05 memorial thing, and I'm gonna tap into all the material I can lay my hands on. But yeah, the two videos of his amplifier got the most hits. Well, when he was first firing it up and he was keying up and the thing put out a kilowatt dead carrier and then swung up to a 1.5 kilowatts. Like, they're talking about no headroom.
Yeah, people must be looking at that just for plain entertainment value.
Yeah, for 1.5 kilowatts, he should have had that dialed back to 350, 375 watts of carrier. If he knew that, he wouldn't be 05.
He never ran 4-to-1. He always ran maximum carrier that he could get in backswing.
Oh yeah, all the time.
But you couldn't tell him that. He'd argue with you.
Oh, I know. He used to argue with us on a lot of things. That stinking antenna of his without the elements, that was the biggest one. He got really pissed off, too.
Yeah, his antenna is junk. This antenna is no good. It's junk. Well, how about running it with the radials and then it'll work proper?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, duh.
You guys just don't have my back. You guys just don't have my back. Don't mind me. I'm just seeing if I can squeak a little bit more out of this thing. And I think it's right where it's going to be.
How's this thing sounding tonight?
Crystal clear.
Yeah, I forget who I was on one night with and made some adjustments here to the settings on it, running the compressor on it now, and it sounded pretty good, so I think it sounds better than it did. Yeah, it sounds real good.
Sounds good over here in the volcano crater.
Cool. Yeah, I just picked up this 847 off of Ron. It's needs some pretty serious TLC though. It's got some issues.
I had one of those radios in the past, and I got rid of it because it continued to have issues. Really nice radio. They just took shortcuts on it, and it wasn't reliable.
Yeah, I'm thinking about unloading it. I don't know if I want to keep it.
It's a good radio on paper, but in practice it falls short.
But didn't they make an improvement in a newer revision?
Yeah, but then I think soon after that they discontinued the model altogether. Am I somewhere around signal-wise where I am on the 8-pill up your way?
Wow, you dropped down or something. You were higher before.
Higher before what?
I don't know. I don't know if my noise level took a drastic jump and I just hear more noise in the background, or your signal dropped because you're not quieting my receiver 100% like you usually do.
Yeah, I wonder if I have feed line issues because it looks like my SWR is higher than normal, and I don't know what that's all about. But definitely showing a higher SWR on my up the hill ground plane than usual. So maybe that's it.
Yeah, because you're giving me a 6 on the symbol here. No, I'm sorry, 6.5. And I can swear, a little bit ago you were just under a 9.
Yeah, I think I got feed line issues because I think that's changed. When I was talking earlier, it was my normal 1.4 to 1, but now it looks like 2 to 1.
Well, you probably better discontinue running the amp because you don't want to smoke anything.
Oh, I could switch over to the co-phased antennas. And my plates aren't glowing or anything like that. All my current positions are in their proper places.
Yeah, you definitely dropped. Because you were at least an 8.5 or so. Yeah, you dropped like 2 I guess. Whole 12 dB.
Yeah, well, there's the co-phased ground planes, and that's a better SWR there, but it's not as high in altitude. And I'll probably have to readjust for it. I don't know. It looks good though.
Oh, you switched the antenna?
Just now, yeah. Now I'm on the co-phased ground planes.
Huh. It didn't really change.
Yeah, well, what I hear is different. I got more noise.
Yeah. I gotta make sure I'm okay here. My SWR normal. Beam heading is where it's supposed to be. Everything seems copacetic.
Yeah, you're like maybe 5 or 10 dB lower on signal on the Hallicrafters, which is probably just an S unit or two. Not really a big deal. Let me just check this thing here. Just retune. I'm right where I should be. It's all good. 441 countywide radio on these co-phased ground plane antennas.
Yeah, because Sparky just keyed up over you, and I don't think he can do that normally.
Well, normally I reckon. Well, I'm running what I would normally run, 200 watts of carrier.
It's because I'm on the super links.
Yeah, it's very super.
Super duper.
Yeah, I think there's an SWR issue with the other antenna. That's stupid. Every once in a while, that thing goes flaky on me, and it's like feed line. I got to get out there and clean. I definitely have a higher noise floor, though. Not that it's measurable, but I hear it. Higher noise floor, closer to the house antennas.
If we're doing the deed on Friday and moving that equipment, I have an MFJ if you want to check the line.
I have one too. I know what it is. I could see it on my meter. It's happened before. It's not the first time.
Which phase are you running right now?
The West End fire.
Okay, well, that's just weird because if there was an antenna problem with the other antenna, then this one should be back up there in the green again. But it's not. It's exactly the same as the other one.
Well, the other one's got high SWR, and it's also 30 or 40 feet higher in the air than this one is.
Yeah, just not, something just ain't right there. I don't know. Is it tuning change on the amp or?
No, Nope, it's all good. It's all good. No glowing plates. Got good current. No, it's all good. But these antennas are just not as high in the air.
You shoot those transformers with your digital thermometer?
I don't have a digital thermometer.
I know, it's just taking it to the next level.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the transformer. It's a pole pig. Thing's huge.
Yeah, weighs 300 pounds.
It when it was on the hand truck bringing it into the basement, it drugged me down the steps and I crashed and burned right into the drywall.
I would have paid to see that video.
The damn thing weighs more than I do.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to stop something when it's got you out of weight and out of inertia.
Yeah, this amplifier weighs more than I do.
Right, 13, right. I had a breaker out there.
Breaker, it's your turn.
Good evening, everyone. You got Gumby here. I'm just saying hello and send you your bag and I'm here. Hi, Gumby. Good to hear you. Good, man. We're running some Pierce Simpson technology. Yeah, I'm sitting here listening to those old DNAs you're talking about. Yeah, DNA Raider. That's my favorite.
That was a smaller one.
But the cleanest.
Yeah, actually, that was a good design. 4 tubes in a single stage. That one was a little harder to overdrive.
The one that I also had, I used to have a DNA Scorpion in my better half car a number of years ago.
Oh, wow. Mobile amp. I didn't know too many people that had DNA mobile amps. They, back then people didn't like running, tube amplifiers in the car because it drew a lot of current, and the elevators were kind of pipsqueaky back then. People weren't quite crazy enough to start mounting multiple elevators and all like they do now.
I'll tell you what, when I had that thing in, it sounded choice. You know, it didn't actually, raise some of the, the older there. It's only a 50 amper, but I can get about 60, 65 out of it. The way it was tuned up, if you setting lows on the radio with a full 5-watt output, I could get 65 out of it. The only thing was, though, you had like a high pitch harmonic feedback in it. Almost sounded like a squeal. You didn't hear it over the air. You just heard it when you told you it was like a tube squeak.
Yeah, those were the multi-vibrator transistors that were oscillating to convert your 12 volts up to 450 or 500 volts, whatever the plate voltage was on the tubes. I had a Lafayette HA250 amp. That was my first mobile amp. And it had a pair of 6 JU6s in it. And I could get about 35 watts out of it without pushing it too hard, otherwise it would get mushy. But they rated it for 100 watts of power and 10 watts of drive, so I imagine the thing would do 100 watts peak. But carrier-wise, I think I was good at about 35 watts, 35, 40 watts. But yeah, when I keyed that thing up, it would squeal too. You'd hear that little oscillation. Matter of fact, I could tune it up by that. Because when the thing was in resonance, it drew the least amount of current, and the pitch of the squeal would go higher. When it was loading down, it would drop. It would drop in frequency, and I could tune it. I would tune it to the highest pitch, and it was drawing the least amount of current.
I had an HEC amp with two 6LQ6s mobile amp, HEC, and that used to drive me nuts with that squeal, that oscillator squeal. And that, when I first got it, I thought something was wrong with it till I found out that that's the way it's supposed to be. Like, that's annoying.
Yeah, I can remember my father's sonar ship-to-shore radio back in the 60s. He used to do that when he would transmit with it. That's why, and I knew it then from hearing it on there. So when I had the amplifier that did that, I'm like, oh, this is like Dad's thing, man. He said it's supposed to do that.
Yeah, you couldn't beat them as far as for small, power-wise. As a matter of fact, I used to run that with a top-loaded hustle.
You can control with them, though. But I had one wired directly to the battery for maximum amount of current. If I forgot to shut it off, I wake up the next day with a dead battery. And the filaments would stay hot, and they drew like about an amp and a half of current, and that would run your battery down overnight.
What I do is I played it smart. I took a the hot wire on on the key side, and when I turned the key off, it went off. That way I didn't forget it.
Yeah, I couldn't do that though because there wasn't enough current in the keyed circuits to run that thing because it would draw like Christ, I forget, 15 amps or 20 amps or something like that. It was some ungodly amount of power for what it put out, and I didn't run it all the way to the battery. But finally, I put a switch in series with it so that I would just flip that off, so I wouldn't have to reach under the seat to turn the amp off. That way, I ran the battery down a couple of times. I got smart. Yeah, not like a solid state amp, you know. When it's on and it's not doing anything, it doesn't draw much. These tubes with the filaments on, ooh boy.
Well, I'll tell you what, when I had that was when you had a real dashboard to mount things under, and you had plenty of room under there. And you probably could have stuck a small house under this dashboard. I had it in the 75 Oldsmobile Omega, and that sucker had a 350 under the hood, and I had that sitting under the dash.
Yeah, see, I couldn't do that. My car had a console and bucket seats. So it was sort of almost like a modern car because I had the radio mounted on the console sideways. And the amp was under the seat, under the passenger seat. And it's turned there real nice.
It's got four. I have a better AS car, my 40 Channel Tiger, mounted on the side of the console. I have got a Pride 100 automatic switching underneath there. You know what I mean by the automatic switching?
What, for a sideband?
No, it's well, you have to set it for the sideband. The cars for the runner one, yeah. Once you run 10, 11, 15, or 20 meters automatically.
Well, if it's a solid state amp, it was probably broadband. No tuning required, so it just covered those bands automatically. Did nothing switched at all. It was just broadband. Yeah, it was all mushing up because you're overdriving it.
Believe it or not, this one the radio is putting out 4 watts and it sounds terrific. I
just checked the other antenna with the MFJ. Yeah, my feed line is screwed up again.
Yeah, if I remember right, the last time you had this problem, you had like barrel connector problems or something. There was enough corrosion there, it would open up.
Yep, it's probably due for the annual cleaning, right where my hard line goes to the RG8X at the antenna. So it's an easy fix. I just got to get out there and do it. And I just remembered something, that my MFJ is one of the newer ones, and it gives you capacitance and inductance readings and all that junk. I bet I could figure out what inductance I need on the input of that amp. I'll put the tuner on there, see what the inductance is with the tuner on, see what the inductance is without the tuner, and I could probably figure out what it is that I need to do.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to add additional inductance in there, then that might be the key.
Just, you can actually substitute a resistor in there on one of the tube leads, pull the tubes out and do it cold.
I think I'd rather just measure the input inductance and figure out where the input inductance is and where it needs to be. It seems like the easiest way to me.
Yeah, I don't know if you can substitute that with a resistor or not, because that's cathode, that's direct cathode driven, right? That's not grid driven, right?
No, it's got bias on the grid.
Yeah, where's your, you got one of those plate chokes, right? Or not plate chokes, filament chokes, so you drive it through the filaments.
Yes, that is correct. There's only 4 pins on a tube. Well, actually there's 4, there's 6 total, but there's 4 on the bottom where the gazinta is.
Yeah, plate caps on the top, and then bottom are 2 filaments and a grid, probably. The other one's either not connected or there's another grid in there.
No, the grid is on the side. It's a little pin just above the socket. There's a pin on the side. That's where the grid current goes in, or the grid voltage, I should say.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, those are old-fashioned tubes. Like big white bulbs.
If you look at the photograph that I took, you can see I made, like, they look like plate caps, but mini, coming out the side there. That's where the grid voltage goes in. I made them on the lathe, little mini grid heat dissipation connectors.
Yeah, that was probably a good idea.
Yeah, they just look like plate caps, but smaller. And the plate caps are those heat dissipating plate caps too. But yeah, there's the RF goes in the same place the filaments go in, because there's that filament choke there. And if I remember right, this thing draws like 10 or 12 amps just to light up the filaments, something like that. 5 volts.
Well, that's probably not far from the truth. I know the Z-tubes and all need quite a bit of current to light them up. Like 5 volts at 30 amps or something. It's some ungodly amount of power. I'm like, oh my god.
The 5 volt transformer for the filaments is as big as a CB radio transformer.
Yeah, go figure, right?
And that's just to light them up. That's all it does. On Classic Radio Roundup 27115, my big box radio.
Yeah, classic radios are cool.
Yeah, so are.
And I gotta say, Sparky, your audio sounds so much better coming through this Hallicrafters tonight. And for some reason, Dave sounds a little bit shattered, and I don't know why that is.
Well, that's interesting. I think your audio always sounds good.
It's probably just these speakers, but it's just not as clear. Sparky's crystal clear, so I know it's not a proximity thing.
Well, maybe it is a proximity thing. He's closer to you, and he's full quieting, and I'm not.
No, that's not it. It's almost like I would have to say that you're over-modged, but I know you're not. But that's just the way it sounds.
I may very well be slightly over-modulated. Let me turn the mic down a little bit here. All right. Maybe that'll be a little better.
You have to give me more than that.
Alrighty then. This portion of Classic Radio Roundup is brought to you by Fred's Discount Video Emporium, where our motto is, if you want somebody dead, come and see Fred.
Yeah, that's a lot clearer. I'm going to have to try some different speakers on here, too. Maybe I'm not so sure I like these speakers.
So, is this the R274?
That's a big 10-4, good buddy. R274D/FRR, U.S. Army Signal Corps radio receiver. And you, too, could have bought one in 1952 as the Hallicrafters SX73 for $975 US, post-paid. And that does not include a speaker.
You spend all that for a radio and they can't even throw a lousy speaker in.
No, speaker was extra. And then, not only the speaker, but you need the transformer, too, because it comes out at 500 ohms.
Yeah, now see, it'll be interesting to see what the gate sounds like, because the last time you recorded with that receiver, everybody sounded shattered.
Well, I also have the camera further away. I might have had the speaker too close before, so I'm going to try it a little bit further away.
Yeah, that could certainly be a problem if the thing vibrates, you know. And the resonance from the vibration just made everybody's audio sound shattered.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I like these speakers. I got another set of speakers I'm going to have to try.
What are you using now?
A pair of Sony surround sound speakers that were the rear back channel, the smaller ones, not the bigger ones. They don't have the big ass magnet in it like my realistic speakers that I have.
I was going to say, I've got a couple of 8-inch Wizard Cone ceiling speakers that could be put into a box of some variety for no cost whatsoever.
Certainly be worth a try. But I do need, I think it's 16 ohms total impedance, or was it the other way, 4 ohms? I can't remember.
That's why I'll give you 2 of them.
Yeah, only because of the way the transformer is that I have.
I think they are Bogan, by the way.
Bogan!
Bogan is bogus. I think they even come with a multi-tap matching transformer.
Oh, I hear you. Because out of the radio, I think it comes out at like 500 ohms out of the radio, so a transformer is required. And I'm using the one that it came with. Whether it's proper or not, it seems to work.
Yeah, I'll pull 2 of those out for you. I got it for nothing, and they tested good, so there you go.
So Friday morning, are we good for a meet over at the pig farm?
Yeah, they're calling for some rain, but I don't know exactly when it is yet. But yeah, I made it so it was free on Friday. Friday is free.
What are you moving?
Cleaning out the pig shed, getting rid of the excess detritus that's in there.
Oh, what, like those GE or Motorola repeaters or whatever?
Yeah, those Motorola paging transmitters. There's a lot of good parts to be had in there. An example, a real nice high voltage power supply that's good for a lot of current.
Yeah, so you too can 0.5 your own amplifier.
I still say we need a 0.5 section. I'll start a thread, then you can see if you want to do a section or not.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, I was looking into it the other day, and I got to come up with material first before. And I don't want it to be too snarky, you know. He's I want to remember him as a fun guy, not necessarily a lunatic or anything like that.
Yeah, but all of that applies. He was a fun guy, a little bit of a lunatic, sometimes irritating, but always funny.
And we'd actually be trying to fix the stuff that we've blown up.
Fixing a 0.5 amplifier was an exercise in frustration.
Yeah, thank God he never got a hold of this 250 TH amper. It would have been blown up at some point.
Oh my God, he would have been in his glory. If he was going to get the kind of power out of that thing that you said it puts out, that'd be more than anything he ever had. He'd be driving it with a 4-pill and he'd probably melt something.
I've seen 2 kilowatts peak out of it when I was using the B&W. I seen 2K out of it with the B&W driving it.
Somebody give me some 811s. I could do a right up on the Warrior rebuild, the HA11.
Yeah, that was a good amp too. That was a nice working amp, but you know, that one fell by the wayside. It fell victim to 0.5.
Just another cog.
Yeah, if he'd have ever known what he had sitting there in that rack in the garage, it would have been all over with. I'm surprised he never did, you know, grab a hold of this amp. He'd sit there and build those amplifiers with minimum amount of parts in them, and he had that thing sitting there. You know, the big transformer, the big Edison bulbs. It's a wonder he never grabbed a hold of it.
I don't think he knew what he had. You know, none of us really did. And those old Edison bulbs were so old that I guess he figured it wasn't going to put out anything.
It was pretty scary looking because I remember when it was given to me, I'm like, oh, that's pretty scary. I don't know if I want to even bother with it, but for the price, I'll take it. And then I discovered what it was I had.
Yeah, a diamond in the rough.
This transmitter or the receiver, just the receiver all by itself was a freaking diamond.
Yes, it is.
Of course, I had to evict all the mice poop in the mice houses, and it was basically a mouse condominium. I had to, get all that out of there first. The thing stunk.
Rat pee.
Oh yeah, I took all the tubes out of it. I figured, well, if it's mil spec, well, we'll just go. I took it out in the driveway and soaked it up and scrubbed it with a scrub brush and hit it with the power washer. Yeah, take your radio out in the driveway and hit it with the power washer. And here it is. Here it is. It's doing its thing. I've never ever seen another one of these for sale anywhere. Not on eBay. Not in that. What is that? Can't remember that name of that magazine. The AM magazine. Ham. Electronic. What is it? I can't. Why can't I remember the name of that?
If you're getting old.
But anyway, I got that Boat Anchor ham radio magazine, geared to boat anchor stuff. Never seen one for sale. You see the Super Pro 600s for sale, which was supposed to be the equivalent. In fact, it is also an R274, but mine's the R274D. That's the difference. But there are R274s, the Super Pro 600s. You see those turn up. Never seen one of these.
And the D stands for delicious.
Well, there was actually 274, B, C, and D, and I got the D.
Tickle said the guys, got the stuff, they moved everything out, so maybe they'll have another open sale. He's been advertising, so I guess they'll just have to sock some money away and wait for the call,
Is this the same guy that, where people were visiting a few months back?
Yes, sir.
Wow, still has stuff, huh?
I'm going to have to explore, feel him out, and see what he wants for that spare tube. Of course, I'd have to test it first to make sure it's good.
I think they were just in the gathering up phase, and then they got everything out of there, and, they're just kind of, I guess, waiting to have a layout. I don't know.
Yeah, sounds like that.
There's a breaker on this side. Go ahead. Hey, Heidi, how you doing? Enjoying this fine spring-like weather? To hear you on the Classic Roundup, Heidi.
And then she's gone.
I was just going to ask her how she liked the weather today, if she got outside or not.
The weather was great. That's what it was.
Yeah, did you get outside a bit today?
Yeah, pretty well a little bit today.
That's good, that's good. I worked on my boy's bicycle and got it all straightened out and tuned up. Typical spring day type night. No bugs, except for the spiders came out today.
I found a stink bug in my house last night. Had to go in the red alert mode.
We had some big spiders, man. They came out of their burrows.
I seen mosquitoes today. Mosquitoes were being a pest.
My boy came running in. Not afraid, but excited, because there was a spider, he said, that he saw, and he said the thing started making noises at him. I was like, yeah, it's a barking spider.
Oh, I never heard a spider bark before. Does it sound like a chihuahua?
I think it was just vibrating on a leaf. He said it was making like chirp noises.
I like those big old wolf spiders that we get around here. Them things get big.
Yeah, and they'll vibrate on a leaf like that. A lot of spiders will do that.
So, Sophie, are you the expert on spiders, are you?
No, I sprayed for spiders today. I sprayed all around the perimeter of my house. I do my own pest control.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, death to them if they try and come across that barrier.
Arachnophobia.
They belong outside. It's great.
Yeah, you know, the wife is pretty good about that. If the spiders are outside, she'll leave them alone. The spiders in the house, it's toast.
Yeah, we had quite a few tree forts over the years. A lot of ground forts. Yeah, a lot of. We call them wolfie spiders. Wolfie spiders.
And they get rather large.
Yeah, and they're furry.
I think they're cool looking because you can really even see their faces and everything. They're so damn big you can see their face.
Yeah, all them 8 to 10 little eyes.
Make it sound like a tarantula.
We were extra bad today. We had the magnifying glass out there.
Oh, yeah, how are you doing? Looking at small things or setting things on fire?
I was with my 12-year-old, so we were doing pretty much more of the second thing.
I used to love doing that. Take the sunlight and burn stuff.
Ants are the best because they pop.
There's firecrackers and bottle rockets, too, man. We had a good day. It was a great day.
Ants are fun too because they pop.
Oh, yeah, you focus the beam in on a bug crawling across the ground, boy, it starts to do the dance.
Yeah, they weren't out yet, but the spiders were. And the spiders, man, as soon as you put it on them, they jump.
Yeah, I had one of those and it exploded. Bam!
Those wolfie spiders, they're quick, too. Like, you'd be messing with one in front of you. They'll run towards you, your leg really quick and make you do the jig.
Every once in a while, I'll be out there splitting wood in the log splitter, and you'll hit a hollow log, and they come flying out at you. They freaking jump at you. It'll make me move pretty quick too.
I did the jig once today, man. It's fun. It's fun.
They're not poisonous, are they?
Okay, Heidi, catch you in the mobile a little bit there. Good to hear you on the roundup. Yeah. Yeah, there's things. Well, they'll leave a nasty bite on you, but you'd almost have to hold them there or roll over on them while you were sleeping or something.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one around here.
I posted one on my Facebook page, I think last summer, the biggest one I'd ever seen here, and he was like, he was from leg to leg circumference. I think he was damn near 5 inches around.
Like a big spider.
That was a really big spider, and that was right before I had friends coming over to camp out for the weekend. They were like, "You better kill that.
No, I'm saving it for you.
Go put it inside your tent."
Their body's the size of your fingernail.
This one was more like big old grape, a couple of grapes put together with legs on it. That would have left a grease stain.
That made me shiver.
If anything like that got in this house, probably the cats would play with it.
And time for the coffee refill. Top of the hour, Classic Radio Roundup, 27115. Classic Radio Roundup.
Yes, sir. Classic Radio Roundup. And it is 9 o'clock. Oh, wait. 9:06. 6 minutes past the big hour of 9 o'clock. On a nice, warm Wednesday evening. The 23rd of March. Look at that. Spring is here.
It's about time for spring.
Now we need Nitro to give us a Phillies update.
I hear they're still winning down in the Grapefruit League.
See if I can pull him out there. I hear some folks way off in the distance.
Yeah, I'm hearing traces of voices here and there. Not enough to actually discern anything intelligible.
Yeah, Ron was in there a while back. I didn't get to say hi. He did pop in for a second.
Yeah, isn't there some kind of digital 2-meter net or something that conflicts with classic radio roundup?
The 440 net maybe?
Yeah, that's what I think I remember him saying something about, you know, he was kind of going on that too.
Yeah, the hot sound repeater's quiet right now.
That goes well listening to here. This classic radio roundup is everyone's favorite radio show.
You are exactly right.
I know, when we first started doing this, a couple of weeks in or a month in or something like that, it was a topic of discussion one night on our repeater. They were talking about all these guys getting their 2 radios out.
That's funny. Yeah, I want to test this thing up there and the CFO's like weighing off when you get up there high frequency.
Well, 2 meters?
Yeah, I'm at 847.
Oh, right, your display is not showing what you're actually translating.
Correct.
Well, that should be a simple fix, because usually each major band probably has its own oscillator that beats against the VFO, and it's probably out of alignment. A couple of trimmer caps, and you can fix that right up.
Yeah, like I said, it really needs some TLC, and what else I need to do, it's got some weird quirky stuff going on, because if I have just the HF antenna hooked up to it, it's like the signals are attenuated, and then I plug in my 2-meter antenna, and all of a sudden they come up. It's weird. I want to hook it up to, take it to someone that's got a decent antenna set up and hook it up to their antennas that are, good balance matched and all that. Give it a run through, and I gotta find someone that's got some decent test equipment so I can try and calibrate this thing up and, see if it's really okay or if it's maybe my antenna config. But my 737, it seems like it crushes it on the receive.
Well, yeah, it may very well be. The whole thing probably needs to be going over. Somebody might have tried a golden screwdriver or something and had it out of the line at some point. So, yeah, find yourself the service manual for it and get some decent test equipment, and you're on your way.
Yeah, that's the problem. Test equipment's expensive. I put enough out. Like I said, I'm overswelling. I just let this thing go for what I paid for it. I got a really good dust mic with it, though. I got the MD100 with it, the hand mic that came with it. I mean, physically, it looks clean. It's, it doesn't have any scratches in it or anything like that. It's just doesn't seem like it's as solid as my 737 is by far, but 2-meter sounds great, but like the Potsdam repeater, to dial it in, I'm on 147, 214, 650.
Yeah, that's an alignment issue. Somebody got in there and tweaked a trimmer cap and probably thinking it was doing something else and tried to put it back and didn't put it back quite where it belonged, and so now your 2-meter bands are up.
Yeah, well, everything's kind of off. I mean, the higher up in frequency it seems like you go, the further out it is. Like if I'm down on 80, it's about 150 hertz out.
Okay, so it's a cumulative expanding error. Well, that could be a master oscillator then. You know, you zero that thing in and, you know, then everything will net right in again. Like I say, no, it's alignment. It shouldn't really be that big. Now, how many bands is that right now? That's HF 6, 2, and 440?
It's HF 6, 2, and 440.
Yeah, okay, so that's a lot of bands. So there's a lot of adjustments.
Yeah, and like I said, I really think it just needs a lot of TLC, and potentially it could be a really good radio, I think, but you know, it's got satellite tracking in it, it's got a lot of features in it. You know, I'm hopeful for it, but as is, I'm not real thrilled about it.
Yeah, what's that thing do power-wise? It's 100 watts HF and 6, and what's it do on the others?
50 on FM and sideband, and 25 on AM.
What are the finals in there, do you know?
Nah, I don't know much about it. It was the one that Ron had for sale.
I might have the 2290s in the final stage, or 2879s maybe.
It might. Or it might have stress.
Yeah, I did finally get my ticket today, so I can, at some point I'm going to hop on at least 2 meter and try it out. I don't have a tuner for this one because I have the tuner for this one, which is LBG Electronics IT100 for the Icon, but I don't have anything for this. So I have the IMAX 2000, which will probably, you know, I could probably tune it if I go up and adjust the range on it for 10 meters, but I don't want to do that.
Congratulations on your ticket.
Thank you.
Oh, we got another potential snub lap participant for Sunday night.
Yeah, 10 meter net.
Yeah, like right now I'll run the Icon on there because the tuner brings the IMAX in beautifully, well under 1.5, no problem, all day. I can actually tune a lot of bands with that thing and get really good receive off of it.
Tune the antenna for 28 megahertz and you'll get good SWR on both 10 and 11 meters.
Yeah, nobody needs those bands down below that are free. I know the other bands, but I meant like, you know, just down below 11 meters, I should say. Within that spread between, you know, that and 12.
Once you got your ticket, free band just seems lame anyway. That didn't work.
They ever talk about more than 4 channels for Citizens Band service?
Actually, the CB band was supposed to be 99 channels, originally. The original proposal had it going all the way up to 27,995. They trimmed it back.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because all kinds of hams were freaking out about interference, which happened anyway.
That doesn't surprise me.
Oh yeah, the hams weren't happy that they took 11 meters away in the first place, and then when they wanted to get close to 10 meters, they were like, no!
The older 23-channel radios that were single conversion with 455 kilohertz IFs had image issues. And as you went all the way up, you notice we stopped at 27,405. The image problems start at 27,420.
Well, that's not good for anyone's image.
Yeah, so you'd be on one channel, you're hearing people that were talking on another one, clear as day.
I just changed over to another set of speakers just to see what I think.
Okay, I'll give you a Claudia report. Claudia, 1, 2, 3. Audio, Claudia.
Well, these speakers definitely allow more bass to come through. I don't know if it's any clearer.
Oh yeah? Did somebody mention bass?
Yeah, I guess it is clearer.
Crisp, clear, full quieting.
Takes a little bit more audio drive, though, to get the same level, it seems.
Yes, 27.115 on your AM radio dial.
But I think they do sound better. These are ones with these realistic shelf speakers that weigh a ton. They got big magnets.
Yes, I've always liked a speaker with a big magnet.
I like a big pair of beautiful tubes.
Yeah, buddy.
Then a big old rat.
In my big old 4-foot rack. Break up!
Rack mounted. Brought to you tonight at High Fidelity.
Remember those CPIs? I think it was the CPI 400 that actually you could dial up to 99.
Yeah, well, that's the CPI radios were basically ready for that. They developed those radios before the 40 channels became legal, and they were configurable. Supposedly you could buy them, and you go to 23, and then whatever the FCC decides the final band plan is going to be, just bring the radio back to your authorized dealer, and we will unlock the rest of the frequencies, and that's pretty much how they sold them.
I don't remember ever seeing any other radio made like those were. I think it was the CPI 300 and the 400. Maybe it was just the 300.
There was another brand of radio, I think it was Palomar maybe, had made one. But they may have been the CPI copies, but they were exactly the same. They had the 299 dials.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I tried to score one of them a few times back in my earlier eBay days, and they always seemed to get out of my grasp.
Yeah, I think there was a ROM or something that ROM IC you popped out and put a different one in there and would give you more channels. I think that's how they did it.
What's with the light participation tonight? Nobody's got Pierce Simpson radios?
Yeah, no Skeeter. Night Train made it back to the station, but I guess he's still getting debriefed. No Nitro. And Quarterwave Dave was in there earlier, but I guess it's Survivor Night or something, and he made himself scarce. Of course, he did leave though before he dropped that political hand grenade in the middle of the channel there, and then ducked out. But yeah, I don't know. There could be sandbaggers in there who just don't want to talk. I don't know.
Hello, sandbaggers.
Hello yourself.
Quarterwave Dave was the first one to give me a signal report when the 250TH was resurrected.
And then it got quiet.
Countywide.
Yeah, I may switch off radio, but this thing sounds so good. Everybody sounds so good coming through the speaker. I just let it go. It's all good radio.
I like sitting here working my radio. I could put my feet up on.
Yeah. I like the fact that I switched radios. Nobody seemed to notice.
Oh, I noticed.
Well, I think I noticed, but I wasn't so sure if that was the speaker change. Probably at the same time.
Yeah, kind of messed up your whole calculation, I guess.
You got some serious bottom end coming through on this hi-fi Helicrafters.
Yeah. Sounded like I had a little too much bottom end the other last week, so I brought myself a little bit more high end in a little bit. Just tweak that 2.5 kilohertz ever so slightly higher, so it wouldn't be all bottom end.
It's got some serious hi-fi bottom end going on now.
Yes, classic radio. Round up. Good there, Train.
Well, good evening, gentlemen. It's Sam Bagger. It is the Night Train Base Station signing on.
Woohoo!
Hello, Night Train, Countywide Radio on my 350-pound heavy metal East Coast transmitter.
Evening, Night Train. Good evening, County Ron. Good evening, Stephanie. You guys are sounding good. Yeah, I have a little business to take care of before I get actually sign on by, but I have been warming up.
I've been warmed up all day, ready to go. Feed line issues notwithstanding, it's good to have backups.
That's right. What kind of transmitter is that you got, County Ron?
Multi-Elmac AF67 transmitter with my big old glow-on-glass beautiful pair of 250 TH tube amplifier.
So do you have to dial your frequency in on that?
On all the ham bands, yes. 11 meters, I got a crystal socket. I'm crystal controlled on 11 meters. Got my channel 13 crystal popped in there.
Alright, yeah, I kind of wondering how that works.
Works very well, actually.
Yeah, it doesn't actually have an 11 meter position, but you can put it's got 2 crystal sockets and pop my channel 13 crystal in there and I'm good to go.
Now, is the crystal exactly 27115 or does it mix? You know, and you have to put a crystal in there that it make it 27115.
Divide 27115 by 2 and that's what it is. I forget what 13 something something.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, so you found the crystal for that one of them big fat ones?
One of them big fat ones. It actually is a 05 crystal. There's a little history behind this crystal. When old 05 had that, I'm trying to remember the name of it. The Courier, what is it? The Courier. I forget the name of the Courier, but it was that triple conversion Courier. M1 or I forget. Maybe you can help me out, Sam Bagger. But that Courier 1M, that's it. Courier 1M, triple conversion. I never did get it working because he 05'd it and screwed it all up. But he ordered a brand new crystal for it, and that crystal happens to work in the multi-Elmac to get me here. It's the right fundamental.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to know which crystal. You know, there's a guy who's selling crystals, and I'm like, well, what's the numbers on the crystals? And then you're thinking, even if you do find a radio, what kind of stuff would that particular radio have? Would the crystal work for you? So I left it alone.
Well, I found that sometimes that you can double or quadruple to get where you want to be, depending on the radio. But sometimes they'll do it. And this is a doubler. Most of them seem to be doublers, but there's some of them that are quadrupled.
Yeah, well, it's doing good, man, over here. I'm on my Mark 3.
And I know you would be interested that this has a pair of 6L6 Class AB1 push-pull audio in this radio transmitter.
Yeah, that part's beautiful. I like 606. That's my favorite too.
Yep, Class AB1 push-pull high-level plate modulation.
Now, what microphone you run with yours?
A G-stand D104.
Roger that.
1954 high-frequency AM mobile transmitter. Multi-LMAC Transciter model AF67. AM, narrow FM, and CW.
I've run over that radio. That radio was wrapped up in one box. Let's see. Checking frequency that she's dancing all over the place.
Sort of amazes me that this thing has narrow FM in it for the date of the transmitter, 1954.
Yeah, you wonder, they had FM back then?
I think that was very early days of FM. No question about it.
Yeah, very early. Yeah, that was before I was born.
This transmitter was born 11 years before I was.
I remember it was pre-trained. Yeah, about 3 years. Pre-trained transmitter.
Funny thing is it was marketed as a mobile transmitter. That's the funnier part. You needed a big old sedan to mount this thing under the dash.
Gotta get one of them big old Hummers. Got me a big old...
You know, those Hummers are big, but they got small interiors.
Got me a big old Hummer. Now he drove that 20.
Yeah, old 05 had a Hummer. But them interiors are small.
Got me a big old Hummer.
Unless, of course, you get one of the actual real live military Humvees. They got no accoutrements, so there's all kinds of room to mount radios.
Got me a big old boat.
He did like to brag. That was one of his favorite pastimes, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was his conversation. Yeah. He went to the Donald Trump School of Socializing.
Making America great.
One payment at a time.
Then he actually even came out here one time. Remember, he bragged about getting his wife a big old boob job. I'm like, is that really something you want to advertise?
It's American.
I prefer natural myself, no matter what the size. I prefer they were natural.
Well, some other guys enjoy them now.
Yeah, right?
They ain't real. I think reality is highly overrated.
Reality is for people who can't handle drugs.
Exactly. Reality reflects art, and art reflects reality. And art is KLX Cosmic Radio. How's your tablet holding up, Pete? Is it still recording?
Still recording Classic Radio Roundup on the Video Gate.
Still on my Pierce Simpson links.
My East Coast Heavy Metal Radio. Snowman Memorial Transmitter. I'm going to have to open up the box on this multi-LMAC TR relay. I wonder if it would handle the 250 amp or not.
Oh, with a baby driver.
Well, that way I can avoid the TR switching and just go right straight into the amp. But I actually have this all set up for the Barker and Williamson, and I don't want to change it, because eventually that's coming back online. That's the next project. Get that thing going. Figure out what the hell's wrong with it.
When you get that baby driver.
I picked up me a noise level over here. I wonder what that's all about. There's some other operators in there.
The concurrent classic radio roundup?
They're talking about some guy bleeding 40 channels down here type of thing. They've been in there for quite a while. While you guys were talking, I could hear him. Yeah, he's keying now. Can't hear what he's saying.
Yeah, I can't make them out on these co-phased antennas. Not as quiet as my up-the-hill antenna.
I don't even hear him whisper.
Maybe if I change the phase around, I might be able to pick them up.
Yeah, they're not talking now. Where's all the other Mobile stations checking in tonight? We heard from Heidi.
Yeah, there's no Road Pizza. Who else? Roach. I know there's a few others I can't come up with at the moment. Ghost.
Well, those guys probably don't have Pierce Simpson radios either.
I don't think those guys are on the forum, so they don't even get the word.
From what I understand, the word gets passed on at the weekly meet at the Burger King.
Yeah, be there, be square. Kind of cool to go in there and see all those antennas sticking up.
Show you right.
Reminds me of the old days. Coffee break there, Friendlies and Trooper.
That was a lot of fun.
I came in there tonight, he was new, and then there's another guy, who's 035 or something. He's new, he knows to get up on the ridge there. That's why I told the other guys, like, he's in Bluebell. I was like, go up there to Bethel Grant Road or something.
Well, so maybe there's some new people getting back into it again, or old people becoming new again, or something.
Now that sounds better. The one speaker and one of the other speaker. That's a nice combination.
Oh, you're still playing speaker mix and match.
Yeah, and it sounds the best with mismatched speakers instead of two of the same.
Oh, you're getting all your bases covered, I guess. You know, high end, low end, and everything in between.
Yeah, it definitely sounds better with the mismatched speakers. Go figure.
If they're pointing at each other, they'll do a cancellation, a phase cancellation, or if they're in close proximity. So that could be part of the benefit.
Well, one seems to carry lows better, and the other one seems to carry highs better. So it sounds best with the one of each.
Very interesting.
All right, Chuck, phase relation.
Hello, Chuck, countywide.
Good evening, everybody. I've been sandbagging for a little while. I was balancing my checkbook here, but I'm all done, so I can play radio.
Ah, there's one of the accused sandbaggers.
It's BSing.
I tried balancing my checkbook on my nose once, but it didn't work out so well. Yeah, I was actually on my other radio, which hasn't been opened up for 11 years, so all I can do is listen. So shut that one down and fired this one up.
I didn't know anybody used checks anymore.
Yeah, checks is becoming a thing of the past. All our checking accounts, got one of them have 5 checks. And I haven't used any of them.
Yeah, I do the whole e-check thing.
Well, you know, I was heading in that direction with online banking and all. And then the IRS's website got hacked. And all of my personal information has been stolen. And they even filed a bogus tax return in my name and my wife's name last year. So I have to watch my credit like a hawk, and that's why I'm retaining the payment with checks now.
Anyway, at least you have a hard copy of everything you did. Chuck, does this mean that they got a tax return?
No, they sent me a notice saying someone filed a tax return in your name. And the thing is, you know, they want electronic payment, so the IRS sent me a letter stating that somebody filed, and they think it's fraud. Well, also in the letter, they told me that their website has been hacked, and something like 40,000 identities, or it could even be a higher number than that, has been taken. So these online scammers, they just carpet bombed the tax returns via the internet, and I was a victim of that. So now I have a special PIN whenever I correspond with the IRS. So it's in lockdown mode now. So that'll never happen again. But you know, I have to watch to see if other types of fraud occurs. It's been a year now and I haven't had anything happen. So keep my fingers crossed.
Well, this electronic world is supposed to be so secure, but the hackers seem to find it a playground. You know, I was told about IRS getting hacked into, and I also was told that TurboTax got hacked into for people's information. TurboTax is a tax program that they got hacked into, And I was also told that somebody out of Russia hacked into the Internal Revenue Service. They need to step up their program.
Nah, you just need a server in your bathroom closet, and it'll all be good.
All my coworkers have direct deposit. And on payday, I have to go up to accounting and get my check. And there's probably 20 of us that still get checks, and people at work poo-poo that. And then I explain the story, and they're like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, no crap.
Where I work, they will not cut you a check anymore. If you don't have direct deposit bank account, you won't get paid. They just won't do it.
Yeah, I can see that with some companies, but then all I have to do is get the account number and the PIN, man, and they'll suck you dry.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, therein lies the downside of technology. Technology's great until somebody gets a hold of your information, then you're just plain screwed. You got to be on the ball.
Yeah, I mean, for 3-4 years, I managed my checking account with. I'd log into my local bank's website, and I use a software program for balancing check. I don't use the old pencil and paper ledger, but then I would compare my Microsoft Money to my online account, and I was pushing to direct electronic payment of all my bills, but boy, that was an eye opener.
Well, knock on simulated wood grain vinyl. I've been doing it for a number of years now, and so far so good. But yeah, that can be an extreme nightmare if things go wrong.
It kind of reminds me of PayPal years ago. If you were doing a purchase on eBay and you had sent money and they thought there was some fraud involved, PayPal would go in and suck all the money out of your account and freeze it.
Yeah, PayPal. I never really did trust PayPal, especially if you're a seller, because if there's any dispute, they just plain lock the money down.
Yeah, so I would read stories on the internet on some of the bulletin boards about how a guy had his PayPal account tied to his checking account for his family, which was tied to his savings, and they sucked all his money out and put it in lockdown because they suspected fraud, and it took them months to get it back.
Yeah, when I did create my PayPal, I went to the bank and got a whole separate account to tie it to. I didn't want it tied to my main account. That was just, I knew that was just going to be trouble. So I made sure to circumvent that right in the beginning to prevent that from ever happening. But then after the whole seller lockdown thing came, I just gave up my PayPal, quit using it. And, money order, certified money order, or U.S. Postal Service money order only. Otherwise, just don't even bother bidding on my stuff.
Oh yeah, I did the same thing. Separate bank account. I put $100 of seed money in it, and I had that for a couple of years. So I'd get payment that way and make pay into PayPal to make purchases. But yeah, when PayPal got hacked, that's when I said I've had enough of this.
Yep, 10-4. Technology's great when it works for you, but boy, it could be a real pain in the keister if it works against you.
Especially if you got a wife that takes your wallet every week.
That's because you got holes in your pocket.
I got no holes in my pocket.
Yeah, you got to keep people from reaching into your pocket.
She probably pickpocket you at night when you sleep.
One day I'll tell you a true story about that.
You got to keep your brother putts away from your pocket, or anything else that isn't nailed down.
He's been here 9 times in the last 3 months, and as close as he gets to the inside of his house, he stands outside the basement door.
Yeah, but he probably has somebody around the other side going in and do the stealing while he's holding your attention at the basement door.
Yep, that's right. He's got your attention while the accomplice is cleaning the things out.
Well, you gotta get past the cat first.
What's Mike's news?
Did you come out today, Brandy?
Where? Out of the closet? Yeah, how am I doing?
Yeah, you look kind of cute. No, to Burger King. Did you come out?
Oh, yes, I did. I didn't even announce myself I was showing up.
So you was like surprised the party?
No, not really. My bathroom shoulder bothers. I didn't go a couple times. Still hurt.
I went past there, but I couldn't stop in because I was on my way to work. But I was just that close, man. But if I would have stopped in, I would have blew tomorrow's job.
What time does that Burger King thing go down?
12 noon.
Well, that's past my bedtime.
Good evening, ladies.
Heidi's back, boy. She called somebody.
I think she was calling you. That's Heidi.
Yeah, nice for you to me. Don't you recognize my voice?
I didn't recognize you right away, but I got you, Heidi. Hey, what are you doing making a trip over here? You on a high hill somewhere?
No, just in Pensacola. Just hanging out with friends.
Roger that. Well, how's everybody?
I'm doing good.
How's your mom?
She's doing good.
Tell her I said hello.
I bet. So how are those prices coming along?
All right, stand by, break. We do have you. Come again, Heidi.
How are those prices that you're coming along with?
I didn't do anything. I figure I'd wait till she gets closer. I just took notes, Roger.
Okay, that's just important.
All right, Heidi, it looks like you're competing with somebody else that wants to get in. But it's nice to hear you. You sounding pretty good tonight. 10-4?
Okay, yeah, go ahead and let that break go.
Yeah, hold on. I don't know who that is out there, but yeah, there is a little distant cue going on. But yeah, Heidi, I was saying you sounding pretty good tonight.
Yeah, she's sitting on my truck.
Is that you, Ken?
Yep.
Hey, Roger, where you guys hiding? Up on some hill somewhere?
Nah, I'm sitting in my parking lot at work.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I got a better copy on you guys from there than I would if you were home. Ken, I'm going to let that other break go. I don't know who that is, but somebody's been trying to get in. So I'm going to step aside. 10-4?
Yeah, go ahead, let that break go.
All right, that break out there is standing by for Classic Radio Roundup. Go ahead. We figured something like that would happen. That break out there for Classic Radio Roundup. Go ahead.
And you're done.
He went back to the hand channels.
I never heard him in the first place.
Here. Yeah, big gigantic double up, but I think there's another breaker. Go ahead, break. It gets confusing. I'm gonna step to the side, y'all.
I think you're ghost talking.
Yeah, come on, Brandon.
This is finger.
There's somebody down this way trying to get in.
Come again, Brandon?
I didn't know Chris Simpson had a finger. It was Chris Simpson night.
This is a Browning Mark III bike. I think there's another breakdown Chuck's way. Chuck, go ahead and take that.
Yeah, the braking station, go ahead. I know you've been waiting for a while. Yeah, I guess he left.
Yeah, I don't think he was able to hear me, but I heard him.
He was breaking for the Classic Radio Roundup. I wonder if it was Captain Barry or something.
Yeah, for some strange reason it seemed like it was Delaware County.
I'm feeling handicapped without my up-the-hill ground plane antenna.
There's someone in there now.
Where's Donald Trump?
he's talking to somebody down his way.
Yeah, those guys I think are in Lower Delaware or South Jersey.
The Concurrent Classic Radio Roundup crew.
Yeah, I heard him pretty strong that time.
Yeah, so this is hitting my 104 I'm running.
I like the way that one's tuned, Chuck.
Yeah. Thank you. I do a lot of experimenting with microphones, and it seems to be the best. With the bottom heavy audio of this radio, I think the only way to compensate for that would be this. Equalizers are your friend.
I had to laugh. I got a mixing board that said it had British EQ.
What's it say? Mullard 12AX7s and 12AU7s in it, in line with the audio chain.
I guess so. I was like, what's a British EQ? Oh, is that like bass mid-treble instead of a 5-band?
All the Beatles amplifiers that were tube, when they did their recordings, they had Mullard tubes in it, which had its own unique sound. So that has, if you want the British sound, you get the Mullards, the 12AX7s.
Yeah, I think they ran Celestion speakers too. That's an English speaker, Celestion.
Oh, didn't know that.
Well, I'm running iMac tubes on the final. My audio tubes are 6L6s, made in Russia.
I was at Mullica Hill 2 years ago, and there was a guy that had huge moving boxes full of 6V6s and 6L6s, $2 a piece, man. I bought a whole handful of each.
I think I was at that same one there after I carried that 1000 MP out like a football.
Yeah, it was the same year. This guy, I don't know, he was into audio when he was selling this stuff. And these things were brand new Russian tubes. Guys were like gobbling them up like they were chiclets.
5881 is the industrial equivalent of the 6L6.
Copy on the 5.8, what was it, 5851?
5881.
And somebody took and wrote in glass marker the emissions that each tube had, so you could mix and match and find a match pair on your own. So my one receiver has 6L6s and push-pull for the audio for the AF circuit, but I don't have anything that transmits with those.
Yeah, that's what I would want, a transmitter with two of them.
Multi-LMAC Transciter AF67, 6L6 push-pull Class AB1 high-level plate modulator.
Are they metal tubes you have in there, or glass envelopes?
No, they're the Russian equivalent glass tubes.
Yeah, because during World War II they made those in metal tubes.
Yeah, that was for aircraft service. That's originally why they came up with the metal envelope tubes, was for aircraft service.
Yeah, they're about an inch taller.
The Russian equivalents are taller and fatter than the USA made, their RCAs and whatnot of the 6L6.
So did you just get this thing working again there, Spitfire?
No, the transmitter's been working. It's the amplifier, the 250TH amplifier. I just got back working again.
Oh, what did that need?
Bypass capacitors, 0.01s at 2 kV,
Oh, okay.
or coupling. Well, both. Coupling caps, bypass caps. I replaced the caps in it, and I had to put in new what do you call that thing, Sandbagger? The filament choke.
Oh yeah, right. Filament choke. A filament choke, yeah. That winding on the torrid or the torrid rod, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big, long, looks like a ferrite rod with windings on it. The thing is like, it's damn near 8 inches long about.
Oh yeah. Yeah, ferrite rod. That's yeah, cool. So would the thing like start blowing fuses on you?
No, it just went totally flaky and wouldn't make power, and the plates were getting red on me.
Oh yeah.
So those caps were probably 40 plus years old, and I recapped all the disc ceramics in it, and the enamel broke down, just plain flaked off on the previous choke. So I got a bigger, fatter, heavier choke I found from Fair radio sales and put that in there. And I went from 1 kV caps to 2 kV caps. And here it is.
And some of those old radios, when the the cap goes on the B+, you get B+ on the antenna.
Well, I got doorknob caps in there. They're the doorknob caps off of the plate choke. Those are still there and fine. It was the coupling and the bypass caps, the disc ceramics that went south.
Oh, okay.
But I think my first issue really was the enamel broke down and flaked off of that filament choke, and that's when things started to go bad. Because the 250TH tubes feed the RF in the same place as the filament voltage goes in.
Yeah. It's a triode, isn't it?
I believe you're correct.
Yep, only one grid.
Yeah, but they're pretty to look at. They really are.
Yeah, those bottles are made of unobtainium anymore.
The things are huge. Big tubes. And they light up like a 75-watt light bulb.
Yeah, I tried to have a glass top built for one of my radios so that I could watch the tubes glow while I talk on it, man. It turns out that it was expensive in order to drill the holes in the type of glass that, was needed.
This has got a sort of a screen window in the front of it. You can sit here and watch the tubes.
You can always use plexiglass, that's easy to drill.
What about against the heat?
Wow. If it's well ventilated, it shouldn't get that hot.
Just put some mesh screen in there.
Did the shipping crate for those tubes, Pete?
I have one spare tube, and it has the shipping holder. Yeah, it's like a spring-mounted, metal-framed thing. And the tube is suspended in the center by springs.
Yeah, that's pretty cool how they did that. It's got like 4 springs at each end, so it kind of like floats in the middle, dampens the shock.
Yeah, it has two kind of rectangular frames, X together, and the tube sits in the center of that, suspended by springs. Yep, I have one.
He don't want to use chicken wire because he don't want the dust to get in there. I know nitrate. That's because you're absolutely right. Plus, it won't look pretty breaker. That's right. That's how to. Checking in the roundup.
Well, better late than never.
Evening, Skeeter. Evening, Sparky, and around the band. I hear you on the Mark III. Oh, yeah.
There's my
That's
screen.
my main radio.
My tubes. My big blown glass tubes.
Boy, that guy down here where they arguing, man. They arguing down there. Yeah, I heard that.
I got my quad aimed at Pottstown, so I flipped on my quad on receive, and I don't hear any of that nonsense.
I'm on my co-phased ground plane, so they must be out on one of my nulls.
Yeah, well, they're having it out down there. That one guy, he demands a little bit of respect.
All respect has to be earned.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. You can't command respect, you need to earn it.
You need to hold and ask respectfully to demand the same.
You get what you give.
That was a lesson we could never tell old 05. He didn't understand that either.
Yeah, I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did.
Well, he was stubborn if nothing else.
Got me a big old Hummer. Got me a big old boat. Got me a big old radio and big old microphone. Get the big old boat. Big old boat.
Yeah, I like that big old boat.
Wonder what became of that boat.
The wife kept it.
Big old settlement.
It was there for a long time and then it disappeared one day.
Yeah, 'cause his wife done sold it after he moved to Florida. And she sold it for pennies on the dollar.
She got rid of it.
Yep, she did. She got rid of all of his stuff. Man, a whole lot of his stuff just went out in the trash.
Was that a fountain or a Baja? What was that?
What the heck was that? Sonic. It was a Sonic.
Okay. I was watching videos on YouTube with the old Apache Warrior. That was a mean boat back there.
And didn't that have 3 V8s in it?
I imagine it did, but they're tromping through that ocean, hitting that big water, 90 plus miles an hour.
That Sonic had a pair of V8s in it. He done destroyed those and put a single V8 in it. And he never did get it working right.
No. He was starting to build up one engine, then he was short on cash and had to sell it one, and he was trying to throw together these other ones that were clapped out, and they never worked right.
For as much money as he pissed away on things, if he'd have just done it right the first way, he wouldn't have had to piss away so much money. But he always tried to take the shortcuts, which wound up costing him more money.
That was what made him who he was.
Yeah, pretty much.
It wouldn't have been no fun any other way.
I never seen somebody with so much money piss it away on shortcuts and wind up wasting all the money instead of just spending the money right the first time.
It just wouldn't have been him if he would have done it right the first time. I mean, what would we be talking about if he didn't trip over his own feet?
The legacy of the old 05. If I can't talk Skip, I'm going to drop the mall all day long. How did I know I was going to unkey and hear Barbie Girl?
Sparky keeps that queued up just knowing that, and just hoping that 05 would get mentioned and he'd have that opportunity to just to unleash
unleashed that on the world.
Looking for the opportunity. I know he likes that song just as much as old 05.
You know, he tried to take over the 10-meter net one day at 1 o'clock, and you know, the guys just kept talk right through him. So then he started Corman.
Yeah, he didn't get along with that retired group all that well. And then he'd come and complain to us about it, how they were mean to him.
Well, he'd go up there with all the knobs to the right, and those guys didn't, you know, they were telling him he sounded like crap, and of course, you tell him that, and he gets pissed off.
Right. You could never, he didn't handle criticism well, let's put it that way.
He tried to talk up on 37 with those guys, and, you know, they basically told him he sounded like crap, too, and then he got mad at them.
I got this $1,000 Newman microphone. There's no way I sound like crap. You guys don't know what you're talking about. I spend the money.
Yeah, I bought a $1,000 microphone, and I'm running into a DX mixer board, and I got this big ICOM, and there's no way I sound like crap. Got me a big old ICOM and a Newman microphone. Got me a big old Hummer outside. Got a big old boat. And a trophy wife.
It ain't about the money spent. It's how you set it up. He could never get that point across to him. Then you guys just don't have my back.
He certainly had your S meter, though.
Oh yeah, there was more than one occasion I come down, turn the radio on, turn it right back off again because I knew there wasn't going to be no airtime out of the Spitfire radio station.
Yeah, I remember being over there one day, and he keyed up, and I watched your radio. I did everything but just jump up off of the table.
Yeah, no airtime for Spitfire when Firestarter was on the mall.
Well, at least not on that band.
Oh no, I would go elsewhere. Yep, that's what I would do. Well, high frequency radio for Spitfire today. I turn the radio on and be pegged at 60 dB over. Like, yep, he's on the warpath.
Well, he was entertaining if nothing else. I mean, some of these tapes I got, some of these recordings, some of them was pretty fun.
He certainly left a legacy in the area. How long's he been gone now, and we're still talking about him? And he's not dead.
Yeah, he's a legend in his own time. The last time I talked to him was directly from Florida, man. He was jumping up and down on the microphone out there in DX land. And, you know, I made the contact. Boy, he was happy like a little boy. Same here, yeah. Spoke to him that way.
I think we even got him on the Snubwap once or twice, didn't we?
I think that was the last time I heard him. He got in there briefly on the Snubwap. Yeah, now does anybody know how's he doing, or, you know, is he still killing himself, or just what?
There is no information forthcoming other than year-old information.
Yeah, I was going to say, the last thing I heard was, I don't know, he fell and hit his head or something in his shop down in Florida, and he was passed out for a day or two or something, and somebody found his phone, and the only number in it was 2 Lot Willie's, and they called him up, and he's like, oh, I'm in Pennsylvania, you know, what am I going to do? And that was the last I heard, and then, you know, one thing led to another, and supposedly he went to live with his sister, and she lives in Missouri, or no, Idaho, or something, I forget where. She's not in Ohio, but he's supposedly living with her, but you know, he hurt himself pretty bad, so I don't know what kind of shape he's in, but... Does she have to feed him with a spoon? I don't know about that. I don't have any details beyond that.
All 05. Ain't nobody gonna talk while I got this mall down.
Over his own feet.
Ain't nobody gonna talk while I got this mall down.
Sense about him, you know, he had some whole bunch of business associates, you know, in he just had some. He had some psychological issue there. He didn't like criticism, and he didn't like. I don't know. I think he just was always trying to prove that he was better than the average guy, and it was like a constant battle for him or something, and he was always waging it. That's a shame. And the drinking just kind of, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. You start drinking heavy like he did, and that's when everything fell apart. I mean, he had it made. His wife was nice, and she put up with the nonsense he used to do, and she didn't really give him any crap about it. And she made a lot of money, and they had a lot of fun together. And he had to go mess with her. He had to go wreck it.
I thought of him just the other day when I saw a Hyundai Tiburon. I thought, oh, remember the Hyundai?
Well, that's the other thing. He was always out to get expensive sports cars. But he couldn't afford the real deal, so he would buy these fake ones. Like that Ferrari lookalike. There was a Ferrari body on a Hyundai chassis.
Yeah, it was a Hyundai Tiburon, and we dubbed it the Hyundai. I saw a Tiburon the other day, and I thought that's the first thing I thought of is old 05 and the Hyundai. And right after he got the thing, it had a shot clutch, and he brought it over here. He could barely get it back out of the driveway because the clutch was slipping so bad.
Yeah. He claimed that they used that to film some rap video or something.
That doesn't make it worth anymore.
Yeah, definitely had a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, but he had life by the balls, too. He had a house down the shore. He had the boat. Everything else Bagger just said. He had, radio equipment out the yin yang. He had his little machine shop going on. I mean, he had what, people aspire to, and it still wasn't enough.
Yeah, little man syndrome.
Yeah, he did.
He was out to prove himself to everyone, even those who didn't care. The rest of them would have taken him the way he was, but he had to prove himself.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if he'd spent less time trying to prove himself and more time enjoying what he had, he might not have been so bad. But he always had to go over the top, and try and justify and prove and dude, you're fine the way you are.
He was a good guy when he was, not smoked up on anything. He was, in person, he's a whole different guy, too.
Ain't nobody gonna talk while I got this mall down.
Was that his theme song or something?
He used to drop the Barbie Girl song when he was trying to irritate the Chester County children.
Yeah, which he claimed that he only had because his wife liked the song.